One of the cool features of augmented reality is the ability to create a panorama. A panorama is a 360-degree view in a virtual environment of an actual room or facility. The example that we're using today is one of the kitchens here at the Campbelltown College, and what our vision with this is that students were able to get this panorama and actually find out about the kitchen before they're actually able to go into it as well. And with that kitchen item, they were able to look at standard operating procedures, looking at how to turn the ovens on, how to use the firefighting equipment. But it's also a tool that students are also able to use when they're not actually in the classroom, or in the classroom as a way to say, okay, well, how do I actually use the stove, the oven, how do I actually able to safely use a knife, or how do I actually do a certain thing on a certain bench top as well. So it's a really exciting feature. There's a lot of development to still go on with this panorama feature, but the opportunities are really actually quite endless with what we can actually do with this. But it does take a little bit of time, and along with a bit more development from the developers of this app as well. So at the moment we're actually looking at the beginning of the panorama of the MacArthur kitchen here at Campbelltown College. So we can go all the way up and we can go all the way down as well. We've used a panorama app on the iPad to be able to take this image, which automatically stitches a whole range of different images together. So as we scroll through here, we'll actually turn and walk, so we're actually being able to see the panorama of the room. And then as we go through, I mentioned before, we can actually have a look at the different types of computer-generated images that we actually place over the top of the panorama. So we've got 3 examples just there. So one here, we've actually got a video embedded into the panorama as well. We've actually placed this how to use a fire blanket video over the top of the fire blanket. A couple of different things that we need to actually work with that, but for an example, that's what we're able to do. So a kitchen example there. We've got some standard operating procedures here. Again, it does take time to be able to place these in the correct position on the panorama, but this here, this is actually a standard operating procedure for an oven. So we can actually click on the standard operating procedure, a little pop-up screen appears here, and then there's the operating procedures. There is another step that goes on from this, which is what we call a switch mode, that we can actually zoom up in on those standard operating procedures as well. So we can actually click out of that now, and then we've got here a slideshow, and we've used an example of chopping up some carrots within the kitchen. So if we click on that image just there is a little bit of work to be able to fix up the icons, but again, the slideshow, so we can actually scroll through how the process is of actually chopping up a carrot and peeling the carrot as well safely. So we can actually create an entire interactive environment within this kitchen where the students don't actually have to physically be in that room. So they could be anywhere in the world and they could be learning about different kitchen techniques. Again, little X up in the corner there. So we'll continue our walk around the kitchen. So what we can do with this panorama, we can actually place more items around each of those as well. So we're almost back to the beginning of where we actually started. So no matter which way I go, I'm able to see that panorama. Exciting feature. It's really in its infancy stage of what this can actually do, but with a little bit of vision, this can be an exciting feature in addition to the classroom environment.